I will kindly ask you to introduce yourself. So let's start with the lady. Nina, please.
Okay, hello. My name is Nina Begičević Ređep. I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Organization and Informatics, University of Zagreb. We are one of the faculties as a part of University of Zagreb. We are located in Varaždin. We have 3,000 of students and several study programs in information science. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Philipp?
Yeah, now I make the introduction of myself because at the presentation I skipped it because I'm now doing it. My name is Philipp Trinkfass. I'm responsible for the hard and software engineering at Fronius for the perfect welding division. We have 3 divisions, which is one is the solar, the one is the perfect charging, and these 3 divisions and the overall programmers are about 250, 300 programmers at Fronius, and we develop from some small Pico programmers, from microcontrollers to up to cloud services, and yeah, I'm happy to be here.
And finally, Goran, can we now hear a few words about yourself and Serengeti?
Okay, a few words. So I'm Goran Kalanj, Managing Director of Serengeti. Serengeti is one of the leading software development companies, Croatian software development companies, and we have offices in Zagreb, Bjelovar, and Varaždin. So Varaždin is one of our locations where we opened office last year, and we are growing and have big plans for that office. Thank you.
Okay, so we're not going actually to discuss anything. We are not going to fight about no topic, because our 4th panelist is missing, who we would probably be fighting about with. But so we will do this like a chain talk, because the basis of making any ambition real is actually education. So I would like to start with Nina, with the Dean of Faculty. Can you tell us how is your faculty affiliated with regional tech companies here, and what is the basis for this collaboration?
Thank you. So maybe first it is important to mention that Faculty of Organization and Informatics is co-owner of the Technology Park Varaždin. So this is really important for us because we are supporting incubation and pre-incubation process of our companies in Technology Park. Also, we are really, we have a lot of projects with industry. So maybe I can mention that there are 26 projects active right now at our faculty, and almost 50% of these projects are with industry. IT companies. Also, we have a really 2 important projects in research, development and innovation with 2 IT companies, Infodom and Sedam IT. So we are, as a partner, responsible for research, development and innovation. Because you probably know that all the universities, there are 3 pillars, and we are responsible for teaching as 1 pillar, also for science, for scientific research as 2nd, and 3rd is transfer of knowledge and contribution to society. So these 3 pillars are really important for us, and there are a lot of priorities also in the scope of this 3rd pillar. So these projects are really important for us because we are trying to transfer knowledge and experience with our partners in IT industry. Also, we are very active in implementing innovative concepts of teaching as work-based learning. So we signed 500 agreements with IT companies in Croatia. And as an obligatory part of our undergraduate study program and graduate study program is internship for our students. And IT companies, we are really active in cooperation with IT companies, and our students, they are doing their internship in IT companies in Croatia and out of Croatia. Okay, thank you.
Do you have a percentage of students that are already working for some of those companies while they're studying?
Yeah, for example, 70% of our students, they start working in third year of undergraduate study or first year of graduate study. They are already employed.
Okay, does the city of Varaždin support you? And if it does, or if it doesn't, what are they working to retain the most promising students here?
Where is our mayor? This is a good question, because I have several questions for him, but he is not here. City of Varaždin is also one of the corners of Technology Park. So this is one of our relationship with City of Varaždin, but I don't know how to answer on this question because it's really difficult.
Oh, you know, but you just want to be politically correct.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, the answer is no. We have several projects with City of Varaždin. For example, Interreg project, AB Cities. And one of the aim of this project is to try to use the space that is open and not used in the center of Varaždin, and how to increase the number of IT companies in Varaždin, and how to support entrepreneurship in city of Varaždin. But this is one of the EU-funded projects. And we are both partners, City of Varaždin and our faculty. But this is one type of collaboration with City of Varaždin. But I have problems, for example, how to motivate our IT experts to stay in Varaždin and to work in Varaždin. Because we are only a faculty, and we are producing IT experts for the IT companies. But for example, salary at our faculty is for a Doctor of Science in Information Science around 1,000 euro. You know, that's really a huge problem. And we need this kind of experts, because this kind of experts, they are responsible for teach our future IT experts for IT companies. And with salary of 1,000 euro, we have a problem how to motivate them to stay and work at faculty.
So what do you do to solve this problem?
What?
What do you do to solve this problem? Because many of them will work for IT companies for much more.
Yeah, we are paying doctoral study for our young researcher. We are trying to raise the salary, but by using our own sources. And we are trying to motivate them with some other motivation measures. But that's not enough. That's not enough.
Yeah, I believe you. So, given the rapid advancement of technology, do you think that educational institutions in Croatia are keeping up and adjusting their curriculums? Also for you, yes.
Also for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, no, I want to answer this. Maybe you? Okay. What about the study programs? So we are preparing a new study programs, undergraduate study programs at our faculty. So with focus on artificial intelligence, Internet 4.0, Industry 4.0, then also video games development, data processing also. So, and we are in the process of revision of our study programs. We will start next academic year with a new study programs. And also we are trying to change the concepts of teaching and learning based on work-based learning. So this is also one of the important priorities for our faculty. Also, it's really important to, one of our priorities is also internationalization, because we think that internationalization is really a high priority for European Union and also for our faculty. And also one of priorities is cooperation with IT companies. That's really, really important for us, for our students, also for our project achievements, and also for revision of our study programs. Because we need you, and you need to answer and help us what we need to improve, what we need to change, for preparing students for your companies, And this is important for us, to collect your answers, to collect your recommendations, and based on your answer, revise our study programs.
Okay, thank you, Nina. For now, you can pass the mic to Goran now. So one of solutions for this is having tech companies here in Varaždin, in Croatia. Serengeti is one of the examples. You are making it possible for young and smart and educated people to stay here in Croatia, but at the same time work for international projects for clients like your colleague Philipp. Can you mention a few of the projects that you're working on?
Sure. So we work really with different clients in Western Europe. What is very interesting for us is that those are very successful companies, mostly global leaders in their industries. That is why they are fast-growing companies, and that is why basically they need support from companies like Serengeti. So that is really one thing that we are very fortunate to work for such companies. We have two companies here that we invited, Fronius and Knap, but we work with other companies, similar companies, on different kind of projects. So it really ranges from projects like developing solutions for managing hearing devices to, like Philipp explained, we work with them on interface designer software. So those are really very different kind of projects, and it is all based on what actually customers are needing. But what is important is that these kind of things that we hear on conferences like IoT, like computer vision, that kind of stuff, that is actually what people are able to use then on such projects like cloud, microservices, and that is also idea was of this conference, actually not to talk just about the technology, which was presented a little bit from our employees, but also to talk from our customers about how to use that technology, which we think is very, very important. So we are very proud that actually we use those kind of technologies to solve real life problems.
Okay, so how many people are employed in your company in 3 offices in Croatia, and how many of them are developers?
Company has altogether on all 3 locations around 160 employees, and out of that is actually software engineers that work actually on projects are around 80% of the company. But when we look at the management positions, also in company, almost all management positions are also people with developers background. So I would say more than 90% of the people in the company either are software developers or they have background from software development. So we are really our core business is software development, and that's visible in every aspect of the company.
So to become part of your team, what does a young developer need to satisfy? What qualifications?
That's an interesting question, really, because it changes, and basically because of type of clients that we work for. And what they expect is a very high standard of quality, reliability, stability from the team that works for them. So those are, let's say, basic, besides, of course, technical skills. So that's, let's say, basic set of social and technical skills that we ask from people who join our company. But as we spoke today, technology is really now enabler, which enables a lot of things, and we can really, it's up to our imagination how we will use it. And today we really try to also ask from our engineers those that work in the company and those that come, also to think about how to use it, not just be experts in technology, but really turning them into consultants, how to implement that, how to use it, that means that software engineering job is all the time more and more demanding. So it is actually turning software engineer to a consultant, and that is actually what we work on with let's say our career development plans and stuff like that.
Is it harder to find a good developer or to keep him once you found him?
So yeah, so once it was harder, I would say, to find. It was not so hard to keep, but now I would say it's 50-50%, okay. You know. So it's also very hard to keep, and the ratio is going in this direction that it's harder and harder to keep, actually.
So what do you do to keep them? You probably have flexible working hours, or maybe fun offices, team building.
Sure. So we follow all that you know, stuff that now became mainstream, like table tennis in the office and that kind.
Beer, free beer.
Free. We don't have that, but then. Yeah, after working hours, then of course, yes. But we have very comfortable offices that we follow the trends in that area, definitely. Mm-hmm. But that's not something that we stick out with, that things. So I think what we stick out is actually with this kind of projects that we and engagements that we offer to what you said at the beginning. So we are, as I know, probably the only company in Croatia that develops enterprise software for Western European market. And I would like to see also more companies like that in Croatia. I don't see there's a reason why not. But right now I would say we are the only Croatian company. Of course there are subsidiaries of foreign companies here, but we are a local company. And that's, I think, basic or most valuable advantage. So you are able to stay here in your city and work on world-class projects with real purpose. So you will see today our two customers. One customer, their systems do welding for thousands of cars probably in the world for all major automobile companies. Other company is one of the leading warehouses automation systems companies in the world. So working on that kind of projects really is, and when we see what we work for them and what kind of reference is that for us as a company and for the engineer himself, that is actually, I think, biggest challenge also, because those projects are really very demanding and not easy, definitely. But then biggest satisfaction for the engineer, that really engineer who wants to grow, who wants to develop, and who wants to be better all the time. You know.
Okay, thank you, Goran, for now. Please pass the mic to Philipp.
It works.
So when did your cooperation with Serengeti started, and why did you choose Serengeti? How did you find them?
The cooperation starts 3 years ago, 2016. It was the demand. Why we started it? It was a project, the interface designer, as I told you. We have developed this with the with a government money. It was for it was completely few when we started it in 2010. And so the government gives us money for this invention, for this innovation. And when we have finished this with the education team, it was usable, but it was not that kind of usability, or how should I say it? It was more for the science, because we get money for that, so it was more scientific. And so we need a partner internal. We have not the resources to make the further in development, so we have a look in the market. There are many companies from the Ukraine, Poland, Serbia,
Bangladesh,
all over Europe and also India. Yeah. But yeah, India was first. That was not interesting for us because about of the cultural difference. We have not the experience in nearshoring or offshoring. So we are not Siemens or a big company who has, I don't know, 100 requirements engineers and they write 200 papers. So we need a partner who wants to develop with us the nearshoring concept. And there was, Serengeti was the only company who has a plan, who had told us the plan they have with these ambassadors or the coming people to the customer and learn what is the knowledge, what is the goal from the company, and also get involved into the processes and get in contact with the people. So this concept was, for me, the key aspect why we selected Serengeti for the partnership. And yeah, it works very fine. There were two guys, Ante and Bernard, they were the two guys, was the first who was the ambassadors and come to us. And now I think we are 12 or 13 people because we have 3 divisions. I started with perfect welding, also the solar guys. I have started, for me it's a .NET application. For the solar guys, they're working for the cloud application and also on the inverter for the Linux. So it is really from .NET to Linux. So it's overall we get support from Serengeti and it really quite works good.
Okay, so you heard about the problems we have here in Croatia with educating young developers, with workforce demand. What are the usual obstacles you encounter in Austria when finding qualified IT engineers?
That's easy. We have no. No, I'm kidding. We were last, I think, 2 months ago. There was a big from the government, from the Upper Austrian government, was a conference. And then there was also the universities, and they say, yeah, we have got 400 people, yeah, but the problem is we need, I don't know, 800 or 900. So there is not open market. The market is you have to competitive with other companies. So you have to go into universities. You have to pick them up when they have finished school at 16 years. There is now in Austria is a new program. It's a coding education. It starts with 16 and goes to 18 years. It's not a degree education. It's more you have finished working and you get a certificate for this, and then you make work. It goes further for bachelor and master degrees, and so you need many positions where you can get people, and you have to identify in each level or in each age of the education how can you pick the right person, how can you help him to educate and to get it to the level you need. So it's really challenging because I think last year we were looking for 60 software developers, and yeah, as I mentioned, there are no in the market. It's more a competition market, and so we make the whole stuff like Goran told. We have a really good canteen above it. It's all fresh cooked, and there is also some food tables, and yeah, that was the opinion is from Fronius is that we are a hidden leader. So not many people know about Fronius. So we have also in the perfect welding. In the solar, it is a different situation because they are at the customers. Everybody knows about solar. Everybody is talking about solar and also that stuff. But in the perfect welding, it's more the dirty car ground thing. So yeah, we have to go out to tell what we are doing, how cool stuff we are making.
But you are a leader in your field in Austria.
Yes.
Probably wider than Austria.
In the world. We see that we are the technical leader, the hidden leaders in the welding industry. But yeah, there are also companies who are much more bigger, and they also invite in this field. So, and they are not in Austria; they are in China and in US. And so we have to see that we get the people, and if we don't, we get the people to educate the people that they can help us in our visions.
So, okay, being the leader is of course the advantage, but how hard it is to make a developer, a coder, interested in your business, in welding?
When they are interested and when they give the opportunity to look at us, I think the job is done. It's more difficult to tell the people that this is interesting. So when they are searching for jobs, they don't look for I want to program welding machines. That's not what you guys looking for. So that's for me the challenge. It's not the challenge to show them what we're doing when they are on site. It's more the challenge to get the people on site.
Okay, so how important is the implementation of IT innovation for the competitiveness of your products?
There are the difference is because there is so many you need so many knowledge and the need so from this small microcontrollers up to the cloud and through back. So there are some universities with different faculties and they have their specialized knowledge. But for like an IoT service or industrial Internet of Things service, you need the whole chain. So you need the whole chain from the producing the data to analyzing. And so you have to invest in communication. That's what I was talking in the presentation. It's all about communication. So it's not all that the devices have to communicate. It's also the people who are programming this have to communicate. And that's the challenging part.
Okay, thank you, Philip, for now. Now back to Nina. So how does your faculty educate and prepare students for real-world competitiveness? With the focus to Industry 4.0, of course.
So it's important for us, this cooperation with IT companies. This is the most important. Also based on this cooperation to revise our study programs with focus on trends as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, Industry 4.0, and all these trends and needs of IT market. Also, I mentioned already innovative concepts of teaching and learning as work-based learning, because for us it's really important to teach our students about creative thinking, problem solving, communication, also critical thinking, how to solve real problem, how to think, how to managing project. This is important for us and this is important for our students. So one of the main advantage of our faculty is interdisciplinarity of information science and economics, because we are trying to combine these two fields. Also to give our students knowledge how to communicate, how to working in teams, how to manage projects, how to solve some kind of problems from the start, from the beginning to the end. And this is important for our students, and also how to prepare our students for market, also for future job, because today we don't know what kind of job will be offering to them. You know, we don't know right now. In 5 years, maybe not a developer, maybe something else. So it's important to prepare them for a lifelong learning. This is important for us.
Okay, so this is something I think many educational institutions here in Croatia are thinking about. So what makes you different in finding solutions for this problem, for thinking ahead, 5 years ahead?
I think that we are maybe have this disadvantage in interdisciplinarity, because as I mentioned, we are combining information science, IT, information technology, and also business administration and some economic knowledge that are important for our students, and also project management and critical thinking and problem solving, because to solve some complex problem in IT or in other different fields, it's important also to have knowledge in business administration, in project management, in decision making, in strategic planning, in communication. This is all important for solving some kind of problem or to finish a project. And this is our advantage comparing with other faculties.
Okay, so Goran, you mentioned you work a lot with Western European companies, a lot of Western European partners you have in Serengeti. So what do you see as the biggest opportunity for Croatia as a country, having in mind this kind of cooperation with Western world?
Croatia has really serious advantages, I would say. Really, we have this history of strong technical universities and good really background there, and Western Europe accepts that. Also, what we have cultural and physical proximity, which Philipp also mentioned. So we are really kind of have similar thinkings that these companies expect. And we have, I would say, what we see working with our customers, some, let's say, bonus advantages. We try to use that Croatia is nice country, beautiful country, and people know that. And then we try to, take our customers on small team buildings, show them a little bit around Croatia, and that's definitely not crucial part of cooperation, but it's nice add-on, when they go back and see the country and see the hospitality that we have. That's something that they like, But I would really just go back to what you said. Really, we see that. I'm very glad that I hear that you focus on that areas. We see really also in the company that's very important part. When I was going to university, technical university 25 years ago, it was just math, physics, coding. That was all you could learn there. Now we see in the company that more and more we have to work with people on this social part and things like how to communicate with the client, how to say no in acceptable way, how to set expectations, that kind of stuff. So which doesn't have anything to do with coding, and programming languages. And we have internal workshops where we do this kind of educations because we see that there is really big room for improvement, and that's something that can be really taught and should be taught on the university level, actually, as early as possible, actually.
Yeah, Philipp.
I think maybe I have this too less before. That was one of the reasons why we took Serengeti as our partner, because for us it was also new. We didn't outsource before. It was only a cooperation with faculties, so that's not, it's a cooperation, but it's not on that kind to create the product. And so that was also an impact why we choose Serengeti, because there was a personnel. We started with that we all know about it, that we have the same level of communication and culture and so on. So it was at the start easier. When we go further or far away, then there was also this problem, or this has to be solved. So this was an easy step for us with this nearshoring, with Serengeti. So that was also a main benefit.
Then I suppose you agree with Goran what he said about Croatia. You probably enjoy visiting Croatia.
Yes.
Yeah.
not only of the team building, it was on the Plitvica jezera.
Yeah. Okay, so we have time for some of your questions. Do you have any questions, please?
You can work as a developer with 16, 17 years because you had it already in so-called high school or Hochschule or something like that. And for us, for example, I have colleagues from Germany and Austria, which are my technical architects and everything. They don't have masters. They don't have master's degree because they don't need it. And in Croatia, you are, I would say, in the community, you are not worth enough if you don't finish your university until the end. You don't actually also don't have enough knowledge to start working somewhere just by doing the bachelor degree. How to improve that? And is Croatia doing a wrong way of educating people too long, instead of giving them to the employee market with 20 years, 21, something like that?
Thank you. I suppose this is a question for our guest from Austria.
Also for Croatian,
Okay.
comparing the education system, is there a way to improve it?
I have the microphone, I start and then. I think the difference is the demand. I think for architects, my architects are also educated, so they have also a bachelor and a master. So I think there is a different kind of education what you need for programming. So when you have prepared the documentation and the guy who is 16, he's not programming alone. He is in dojos, he's trained. It's more education. He makes no productive. He makes the product. He's I don't know. He is programming some small interface where you can put some tags in it and read it out, or make some plus minus multiplications, and so that he gets used to the language. So it's more learning language. It's more learning how C# works. It's more how objectives are built and so stuff, and how the methods works. And then when he's educated, he always goes further. They don't stop with 18 or 20, that they stop, so they make also their bachelor degrees. It's only that when they start with this education, they get some money. So after 16 years, nobody says, oh yeah, I want to school for the next 5 years. There are many people who want to start working, get their own money, and so that's one way he can earn some money. He makes his coding degree or his coding education and go further than to the university. And we all give the opportunity that this is done through the work with Fronius. So they have free on Friday, or get some benefits. They can take 3 or 6 months off from the work to make the degrees and so stuff. So that's not, I think you cannot completely compare this with the education in the faculty.
Nina?
Okay. The answer is Bologna process and implementation of Bologna process in Croatia. So this is a huge difference comparing with other countries in European Union. So with Bologna process, we split our study programs, or duration of our study programs, 3 years of undergraduate study programs and 2 years of graduate study programs. Some of the faculties in Croatia, they choose to have integration of some kind of integrated study program. For example, Faculty of Economics, 4 years plus 1 year more. And this is a reason why our students, they are finishing 3 years of undergraduate study program, and then it was normal, to enter a graduate study program and to finish 5 years of study. But this year, at Faculty of Organization and Informatics, I think that something is changing, because this year almost 60% of our students finishing undergraduate study program decided not to enter graduate study program, but to find a job. So something is changing. We can discuss why they decided to find a job, but probably my colleagues can answer on this question, because I think that there is a really a huge
Demand.
For developers and IT experts.
There's huge demand, definitely, so that's one reason. But also what we see in Serengeti is, we see that as well. So again, 10 years ago, it was normal to finish the university first and focus just on that, and then searching for a job. Now now people really, during their studies, later years, before it was last year of the study, they find the job. Now that's moving earlier and earlier, now on, let's say, third year of study. So it is they really want to get that practice, and as soon as possible, and that is, I think they understand that just technical university, of course, if a person doesn't have any experience, if he has technical university, he will find a job, of course. But if you, on top of that, have, let's say, 1 year of development experience in some company, that is then big difference and much better starting position. So people understand that, and that's why they start working earlier. Every year, I would say, it goes down, you know.
Thank you. One more question. We'll take just one more because we're running out of time. So please.
Okay. So I have a question primarily for the Dean of FOI. I know that FOI has a great career center and you cooperate with companies a lot. So do you have some kind of feedback from the students? What kind of cooperation do they value the most? And by which characteristics do they choose their future employers? I'm asking from the HR perspective, so we can...
Really, thank you for this question. It's really difficult, you know, to answer this. Yes, we have Center for Career Planning and for Student Support at FOI, and we have more than 500 agreements with IT companies in Croatia. And we are trying to prepare some kind of research for answering on this kind of questions. But we are trying to introduce some kind of evaluation process after internship of our students, and to collect feedback from student perspective, but also from IT companies' perspective. What is the answer? It depends. It depends of the student, student perspective, student perception of the company and future career. You know, because we have a lot of study programs, for example, for software engineering, but also for business systems and digital transformation. So it depends of career planning of these students and future career. So, but I think that it's most important for them to learn how to work on specific problems, on specific tasks from the beginning to the end. And a good mentor is really important for them. Not to, you know, prepare coffee for their boss, but to work on a specific task for, I don't know, 3 weeks. And with a good mentor. I think that this is the most important. And almost 70% of our students, they find a job in this IT company where they had internship on last year of graduate study. This is also important.
Thank you very much for participating. Vraćamo se na hrvatski, hvala svima. Odmah idemo dalje sa programom, pa dok kolega napuste pozornicu i dok uklonimo ove stolice, ja ću vam najaviti sljedeće predavanje. Dolazi nam predstavnici tvrtke KNAP, još jednog, dakle, Serengetijevog predstavnika. Može pjesati.